Let me play a
You can
sound.
hear him upstairs.
I know.
He's so loud.
I know he is.
I didn't know you could hear him from your room as
Well,
well.
I told Alice, but he didn't believe me. Let me adjust the light because it's...
Is it on?
Yeah.
Oh.
Wait, it's not. No. Okay, here. Alright, because live is usually very like... Please don't start
Chill? Like just chill out?
meditation music. Hi!
Oh, Brigitte. Hi. I can't see the screen. Oh, you thought we were going to put it here?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it up there. Hi, Missy. So we do have a collab. First to the party.
Hi.
Hey. I can't see without my glasses, man.
I can't see it all, so I'm sorry. I can see something going.
Do you want my glasses?
No, it'll be too... I think your eyesight's different.
Yeah, probably. Hey, I love you too. Hi from Egypt. Nice. All the way from Egypt. Okay, I'm gonna put it up here for Joey because he cannot see the live.
Oh, there's 12 people. Oh, cool. This is really cool.
Hey! So, you see that? Miss
No.
C said, hey, Raven Town.
Hi! We're getting the comments on the big screen. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, we're working on this. Okay, so I'm gonna put this in the middle so you can see the comments as well and can interact with people here.
Cool.
And we'll split the table to two sides.
That's
Can you see now?
Yeah.
All right. How is your weekend, guys? Well, starting weekend. Rio de Janeiro. I always wanted to go for New Year's to Rio. Oh my God. How is New Year's in Rio like?
This is so strange. Oh my God.
By the way, guys, this is Joey's first live, so
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
I think you're gonna enjoy this. Crazy. I can imagine it's crazy.
This is so cool. Sorry, I'm getting used to music right now.
By the way, Joey's sick, so
Yeah.
he's trying to cope with life today.
I just have a bad chest.
Hi, Dr. Rajan.
Rajan.
I'm not sure.
Hi.
Florida. Nice.
Thank you, Luna.
Guys, so we thought we have a lot of like silly stories. So if you want any story time, please ask us questions because I think me and you, we've gone through a lot of interesting stuff when it comes to spirituality.
Still, every day, not just...
Someone says, is Raven still teens? He's kind of a big baby. How old are you?
I'm 26. And I work with kids and they ask me, what year are you in? I'm like, I'm a teacher.
You blend in, right?
I just blend in, especially when I wear this purple jumper because that's the uniform color.
Baby face.
Thanks. I still get ID'd and I don't mind.
That's funny because I do still get ID'd and I'm 30. But it's
You have a
less
baby
often
face as
now.
well, though.
It's less. Well, it's getting old now, you know? Can we talk about what?
Scrying, it's like, you know, divinate. It's like...
Okay, what exactly? Divination stuff?
It's like, you know the crystal balls? When you look into it, and it's just kind of like a form of divination.
You know, me and crystal balls, I don't know, like, for me, I think it comes more from media rather than from how things really work. And maybe people used it back in times more. But I think, I guess, you use whatever works for you.
Yeah, it's kind of like... You're not really into witchcraft, really, though, or that kind of magic-y side. You do your own thing. I love it,
but I'm more into kind of... I would want to mix science and magic together.
Yeah. Brigitte is very like logic-based and magic-based and putting the two together, whereas I'm very like over the top. I'm not anymore, though. I used to be all into like crystals and candles and everything, but I don't do that so much anymore.
Yeah, for my intuition, I practice it every day, but by different ways. Like Spacebug says, you know, it's a tool to connect to intuition. That's why I have the intuitive deck, and I think we just practice it every day with you. We're like on it for the whole year.
Yeah. When I was getting into like tarot and stuff, that I used to be so into all of every little thing, like divination, scrying, and sigils. I still am. I love sigils, but I don't do it as much. We can just use different ways to relate it. Yep.
Yeah, I think it's so like complex that you can literally, once you get your intuition on point, you can pick up a rock in the middle of nowhere and read from it.
Yeah.
And I think that's very important to understand that you don't need tools anymore as much. Those set tools, kinda.
Spacebug, look, she says.
Yeah.
She or he, sorry. It's just a tool to connect your intuition, science, and magic together is the only way.
Yeah.
That's so good. Yeah.
Yeah, and you get it.
I've listened to books as well where they get science and magic and prove that both of them do work together. It's just...
Oh, we have a good question. Divine Guidance. Hey there. How long did it take you to remember the meaning of the cards? We have both. Well, it's a story actually.
That is a story.
We both were doing tarot, but we didn't know that we were doing tarot because we just met and we didn't know much about one another.
Also, can I say about our intuition? I met her and I thought, I like her, but there's something off about her. I don't know what it is.
Like very weird about each other.
And you were the same, yeah.
Yeah.
You thought this, when we got like really close, we told each other, I didn't really know if I liked you at the start, and I was like, yeah, same. And then it took like a week, didn't it, until we actually opened up about...
I think once we moved in together, that's what happened. And regarding the whole, like, how long it took you, I was so, like, hardcore trying to learn. Literally, I was reading massive, like, texts about every single card from different websites and from books and shit. But we understood that that's not how it really works. The moment we started practicing on one another.
Yeah.
Well, we did that for other people priorhand, but something was missing, wasn't it? It's like you were scared because you didn't want to let go of the meaning of it. Yeah. And once you let go of it and you trust your intuition is when you actually start doing tarot, you know. That's why we have a lot of people on YouTube saying, I read tarot differently because I read from or pictures or imagery, you know, because that's the main thing, how you have to go about it.
Yeah, because I used to use Google a lot when I would do readings for people. I'd be like, oh, hold on, I'm going to Google that. And then, yeah, it would make sense, but it wasn't my own interpretation of it. And then you got me to do it.
Who, Jean, did you say at the train station last week, Thursday? Because I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt. I had 5 people. Well, people look at me strange anyway. But 5 people this week were looking straight into my eyes as if they are trying to recognize me. And I was like, what is going on? Like, and today happened as well, so I'm not sure.
What do you mean? Someone, what?
Someone said...
someone recognized you.
So Jean said, I don't know, but I think I saw you at the train station last week, Thursday. Where were you?
What the?
You may have been with a friend.
Oh my god, you should have. It was probably Vika. You should have came up to her and said hi. Oh my god, that would have been so cool.
I don't want to say the name of the station.
No, because people know where you work.
No, probably on the train, right?
I'm sorry if I'm squinting, by the way. I'm like trying to read the comments, so I'm like... I still can't...
Spacebug, how do you connect to your intuition? I'm vastly struggling here. Okay, tell your ways, how you do it, because everyone does a wee bit differently. A wee bit, I'm picking up Irish.
Everyone is very different, so it's kind of finding out what you want to do, but you're very, like, me and Brigitte are kind of the opposite in the way that we think. I'm very, like, always in the moment, but not really, very, not organized. So my intuition is just pure random. I just go with whatever I think.
You go with the flow.
It's just, yeah, that's literally how I am. I'm just go with the flow. And then, how do you see things? Because you're very organized. So you kind of structure when you're doing your readings
Well,
as well. Not structure, but you're more clear. Whereas when I'm doing readings, I'm not always that clear.
I was like that before until I realized you cannot have a structure in the reading.
Yeah.
Tarot tells you whatever it is that the person whom you're reading for has to know. So it can twist completely different directions. So now when it comes to reading, I don't think I use the specific as much anymore. But, well, I try to because it's much easier. But regarding how do you connect to your intuition, regarding that question, what do you do?
That's really difficult because it's kind of like you do it differently every single time. Do you not? Because I do. But that's me being me. I'm just like, okay, today I'm going to meditate, or now I do it different. I can't really answer that question.
I'm gonna sound so bad. I don't
answer that question.
I only premeditate when I do mediumships. And when I do readings, I just like jump into it and then it starts there for me. So that is why, by the way, when I do private, guys, I think that's my way. You just told me my way.
My way too.
When I do privates, if you ask me about someone else, I always firstly give you guidance when it comes to you and your own self. So I say at the beginning of the reading, I need to tune into you first. And I think that's my kind of the whole connection happening with the person, and then we go on to the questions. Regarding intuition, for me, as I always say, guys, my phone starts ringing. I try not to look who's calling, but rather guess. I get a message, I'm trying to guess who that is. Let's say the buses works the same way. I try to guess which bus will come first. It's all about that. Like every single step of my day is basically about this. But
and as well, when your intuition is good, you get like, you see the numbers on the clock, and that's kind of like, okay, you know that you're on the right track, that you should be listening to your thoughts. But when it comes to tarot, what I do, this is the thing I do all the time, I connect like pentacles is like money, job and career and everything physical, and then I do swords, like what are they thinking, what am I thinking, and that's the way I connect when I'm doing tarot. I always do that. So I start with pentacles and I start with swords, and then wands, and see like what's passionate about this reading, and then I do cups, and like what are the general feeling, and then I do like overall the pentacle, the spirit, so what is the spirit of the reading, and that's kind of how I connect. And then just if I'm not sure about a card and how it fits in, I'll literally feel like I'm tuned into the image, and like what would that image feel like if I was there, and that's how I do it. But I'm not very good, I'm very imaginative because I'm not good with the theory kind of.
And I think it might be difficult for someone who is not that creative or imaginative to start reading straight away, because you have to tune into that side of yours, because we all are creative and have our imagination, but because it has been kind of taken away from us once we growing up as children, we were so imaginative, right?
In school I see this all the time.
Yeah. Let's see what else people are asking.
You need to read because
when I try to do readings, so Michelle, when I try to do readings, it sounds like I'm always reading for myself. How do you differentiate? So basically, this is a very thin line. It's the same like, oh, I can't read for myself, which I can't. We always go to one another. But it seems like your ego is getting in the way. So I love doing readings for people whose stories I don't know. That's how you. So if you practice and still, Michelle, try to do readings for people whose life you don't know yet. You just know them as maybe someone from work or someone who's open to, So you have to find people to do that for, because otherwise, and it's very difficult for us to do readings for close friends, because you know everything about them, and when you see something like, oh my god, that's probably that, and that way it's like, ego, go away, maybe it's not that. So this is a thin line, but I would say that firstly start with people you don't know.
I don't start with family or friends, because you know them and then they're like, a lot of the time as well, don't start tarot readings on people that don't really want to know or they don't believe. Because
Yeah,
then you're not going to
exactly.
get a clear message because they don't believe in it.
You had that.
I have that all the time.
People were kind of testing you in a way. Oh, do tarot for me, but all they want is to test you if you like
I've had that recently, and yeah, they kind of don't believe in it, and then it just sets the tone, and then people talk, and then you just look like a fool.
Yeah. How to differentiate between your intuition, guidance. Sorry, I can't speak. It's been a long Friday. Between our intuition guiding us and our traumas misleading us. Really good question, by the way. I am suffering a lot due to this in my relationships. I misunderstood the synchronicity as divine light too. Oh, you know, I think you know what she's talking about. So basically, you get hot.
I got hot.
Between the intuition and the trauma and how I see it, I always say to people, if you try to listen to intuition, firstly you have to quiet your mind, and that's a really difficult thing to do for a lot of us because it just keeps on going, right? Try to not to ask yourself how you think about the situation, but rather how you feel about it. So put everything behind and ask your body, how do I feel about this? And you'll get that sensation where you're like, oh, that, or whoa, and it's a very kind of subtle feeling, but that's how it is, really.
And as well, something that I always notice is sometimes when I have one thought, like say, it's very simple. For example, if I'm not sure about going to like an event or something because I don't know if I like the people or I'll like the vibe or whatever, sometimes I'm like, should I go? No, I shouldn't go because I mightn't like it. Or no, I should go because it might be fun. And then if you ever find that your intuition is like yes, no, it means you're not really ready to know yet. You just need to go with the flow. Because when you're not 100% sure and you don't know, I think you shouldn't really go for it. Because that means you're not ready to deal with that situation yet. That happened to me a lot.
I really like Rain's comment. Whenever I saw your videos, hope maybe I can get support clues, as I usually also often get premonition through dreams, but then while watching your videos it turned into a comedy situation. Tell me more. Hi Zelda, hi. Magna.
Sorry I'm not saying hi to people, I just really struggle to see your names. I can see the emojis alright.
I think you should try my glasses.
No, I'm gonna look like a nerd.
Look, I'm gonna give
Oh,
Joey my glasses. Hey!
I feel like a teaching eye.
You can go. Literally, if you went to gay club looking like this, you'd have all guys.
I actually can. What? I don't like them. Do you like them?
They will like them.
I look like something from
a
the
bit pervy though.
You know, like a little housewife.
I don't know. For me, you look like a pervert.
I don't
Or like a.
Why would I get people if I don't want to get people because I'm a pervert?
Thank you, Zelda. Oh my god, I still don't know how these things work. You need to find out too.
Oh, this is so
Thank you so much. I'm sending you best
energy.
I
actually can't see no, but I think it's really nice. How do you guys? Sorry, see, I can't see. Still, how are you guys?
Nice look. I really like those glasses. Do you want to try the other? Well, I broke the other ones actually. Damn it.
No, it's okay. I think I'll take them off because I got a bit dizzy there.
Okay, so Michelle said yes, her husband doesn't believe and tests her. So the same way like you you were talking about other people, and just let them be. And
my partner doesn't.
My
really
mom,
believe, but he supports me.
Yeah. He's the one who buys him tarot decks.
Yeah, he's like, I don't really understand it, but I'll support you.
We should invite him to stay high.
Yeah, he'd punch the screen. What are you doing?
So, regarding the whole, where is it? When people don't, believe in tarot as much, that's why I say, whenever someone needs me, they will find me. So, and my mom was texting me all week, oh my god, so not bragging, but one colleague of hers back home, she asked to do a reading for me like ages ago. And now she was like, okay, so you said that I'm gonna have a pet and I have a new pet, and you said I'm gonna leave a job and this has happened, and she's a very stressed person. She would never leave her job. And I told her, if you don't do it your way, like yourself, universe will do it for you. And then she was like, this is great, this is amazing. And then my mom started like being an advert for everyone else. I'm like, Mom, please stop, because you might invite people who don't belong to, like, for me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think people who need you, they're going to find you. That's why I'm like, you know, take it easy. And maybe if you don't feel like talking to some people about tarot or anything about spirituality, just leave it there. Yeah. Do you have any questions, guys, when it comes to
Should we have like
spirituality?
a little side break? Yeah, doing like
We'll do that.
tarot in a wee way.
Yeah.
Not yet, so don't.
Hey guys,
That's a really good
hey
question.
guys, how do you preserve your energy and cleanse before and after reading? I find I pick up a lot of energy which can affect me for days. Okay. You'll get to the point, by the way, you'll get to the point where I don't think you will need to do that as often, because the only thing that I do, I never cleanse myself before or after readings and mediumships, because I feel like my vibration has grown and I don't need to do it anymore. But what I do in between readings, so if I would be reading from this deck for one person and then I'd have to do another reading straight away afterwards, I always kind of how do you say, I forgot the English.
What is it?
I kind of hold it over the candle a bit, you know, just to get rid of the other person's energy. So that's my only thing. What do you do? Do you do anything?
I don't really do anything anymore. I used to always be like, I do that though. I do cleanse it like with a candle or something, or
Yeah.
even all you really have to do is visualize. Like, if you're talking about tarot decks, like I just cleanse my tarot decks if I did a reading and it was kind of negative. I don't do it. Sometimes I don't think I'm doing it, and sometimes I don't feel like doing it. But I think with being drained from readings is it in the beginning we were like that at the start all the time.
Oh
But
yeah, there was a
just-
moment, but I think it was because we are working
Yeah,
and
as
then
well,
doing tarot and going to sleep, and it was like do.
and it's as well though. It's kind of like anything. Like if you start a new day, if you decide to get
Yeah.
really healthy,
Start going to the gym
Yeah.
too, right?
yeah. If you start like going to the gym, you go to the gym, you hurt, and you're like, oh, because you're not used to it. You start a new diet, you start eating all veg or all fruit,
Yeah.
and then you know have not a fun time in the bathroom because you're not used to it, and it's the same with everything. And then
Yeah.
with you, I don't really do mediumship. I like to do it sometimes, but when you started doing it, you were so tired. Do you remember? And you were like, I
at the
can't deal
beginning
with
of
this.
the mediumship, it was really hard. I remember.
So I feel
First
like
2 weeks.
I feel like cleansing yourself in the beginning that's all that matters, and then over time it starts to fade away.
Yeah, yeah,
You
that's
don't need to do it
definitely.
anymore because you're just used to the energy. It's like anything though in life, really.
Yeah. Okay, then what we have, guys, when did you decide to do readings? Well, we both had tarot cards for, I had tarot cards, well, all my life, but I
I didn't know what they were when I had them.
yeah,
I was so young.
I was playing with it as a child,
Mhm.
but I didn't know. So I think we started like doing it professionally. Professionally. Was it a year ago or more?
Mhm.
But we were always with tarot anyway, so we both had decks in our
Yeah.
rooms. It was so funny.
The first thing
when
I
we found
remember was when I was younger and I had a deck and nobody knew about it. And I used to be the child, like I would go over to my dad's garage and he would expect me to do work and like tidy up and stuff, but I would always be out in the forest and like playing with these cards that I didn't have any idea what they were. And I used to pretend I was a witch, but I had no idea what they were. But it's probably because the imagery in the cards was all like witchy kind of, and I used to pretend I was a witch with a cauldron. So
I love it.
that's how I started off with tarot.
Someone says, where are you from?
I'm from Ireland. I get this question still at school every day.
I'm from Lithuania. Okay. Do you guys follow any specific spiritual practice which helps you guys in doing tarot card readings? I don't. I'm very straight to the point. I start doing it, I'm in it, I'm like, but I think at first it can be, if you're starting, I think at first you might have to, because at first I was very like, I think I was scared to read just like, oh, you know, fully from myself.
That's intuition again. Like,
Yeah.
go with your intuition on
Yeah.
it. Like, if you don't feel comfortable to just go straight into it, do something that might make you comfortable. So if you like, even like if you like to like colour, like getting yourself into like a zone.
You know, like some people do mediumships where they scribble.
Yeah, like that.
Like,
That's the same thing, kind of.
what's his name?
The guy on
Hollywood Medium. And Alison Dubois, she's my fave. Oh my god, they do scribble. So I think that's the way of tuning in. But it's another thing, it's not tarot.
God, we've been on here half an hour. That's crazy.
I
Feels
know,
like 10
it's
minutes.
so quick. Yeah, we're gonna do readings today, guys, in a bit.
Probably doing like 30 minutes.
Yeah, maybe, we'll see.
Well, just go with the flow.
Just go with the flow. Okay, can you explain your shuffling and choosing process for pick a card? I always feel like I don't pick the right ones. Okay, let's get into this.
Question.
So, I was doing some pick a cards. I had some videos where I wouldn't show people anything. I would just tell them pick from 1, 2, or 3. And people, because most of them want to see the visual part of it, right? People are like, I can't choose it that way, because they're not choosing from intuition, they're choosing from their eyes. And that's what you're struggling with. So I would suggest, Luna, close your eyes before seeing any I don't know why that's gonna sound bad, but I try not to pick when there are crystals or
You always were like that, yeah.
Yeah, because then you are drawn visually to a crystal rather than a pile. So even if there are crystals on piles, I think I stopped doing that a while ago, though, myself, when I was like, no, I don't think that's working for everyone. I try to look at the piles underneath rather than crystals. So, or, best thing, close your eyes, and usually you hear the number before you even start watching the video, right? And that's what happens.
What with me though, what I do is I visualize I look at the decks for a split second and I
Bye,
close my-
Michelle.
Bye, Michelle. And what I do is I visualize the cards, and then whichever one shines the brightest. I know that sounds weird, but that's my wee thing that I do. It's like whichever one is the one that's either easiest to flip, or there's a light shining.
That's what Stargirl said, didn't she, as
Yeah,
well?
that's where I got it from. She told me that. And
Did
then
it
I
work for you?
every time I've done that from Stargirl, when she said that, I was like, that's so good. It works all the time.
I think I go by nose.
I knew that. I knew I learned that from somewhere. I forgot. It's her.
Yeah. At times I feel like I'm not able to listen to my intuition, how to solve the issue. It means that there is too much in your head, you know? That's what it means. Like, so once you get rid of the thoughts in your head and worries and stress over something in particular, the moment you ground yourself and ask your body, how do I feel about certain thing, you know?
You don't really, you do get better at it, but it
Yeah.
doesn't go away. You always have to constantly tune.
Yeah.
You always have to tune back into it.
Yeah.
And think, because things in life happen where you kind of are tuning out of it. Do you know what I mean? Like you're kind of drifting away from it, and then you have to go back again and like trust yourself. So it doesn't ever like, it's not something that you learn forever and it's just done. It's hard.
Valley.
Sometimes.
If you have 5 piles, for example, and you're not sure which one to choose, can you choose more than one? Please, I'm so curious. Okay, yes you can, because guys, you have to imagine you have only 5 piles for, let's say, what, 10,000 people sometimes. What are the chances that that pile, everything that's said there, is gonna vibe with you? So I would say pick only the parts of maybe 2 or 3 piles, how many you want to listen to, what resonates with you, and try to kind of, and again, it's all about the gut feeling, isn't it? Because sometimes you feel pile number 1 very strongly, but then you kind of keep looking at it number 3. So it means there's a bit of number 3, there is a bit of number 1.
As long as you take whatever applies applies. You don't, it doesn't have to mean that both of those two readings are going to make sense.
Yeah.
As long as you know what messages are for you. And as well...
Very good question.
As well, though, with us, when we're watching pick a card readings together, I feel her pile and she feels my pile.
Yeah,
and
and
get
we always
confused.
like,
But
is that
there's-
yours? Is that mine?
but then there's always like a message for both of us, kind of.
In each
sometimes.
pile, yeah.
So what was that question?
So, doctor said, is knowledge of astrology must for tarot card reading? No, it's not.
No, I don't.
It's not. It's
sorry.
just you
Not
have a
deep.
lot of people doing both, and as you know, guys, I'm like, I would love to learn astrology, but physically I don't have enough time doing everything. But one day I will. But I think you don't have to know tarot is a different thing from astrology. So maybe you are thinking about the times where people saying, oh, I see fire signs, I see air signs, whatever. But it's just because, certain things represent certain signs, like cups, water, etc., etc. So no, you don't have to.
It's a big thing on YouTube though, is talking about astrology in tarot, but it doesn't mean you have to, I don't really talk.
No, tarot for me is a different thing. Okay,
It's
there is
completely
tarot,
different.
there is astrology, and there is mediumship. I see them as three different things, but in all of them, you need to be tuned in. You know?
Like for me, I say, if I see someone who goes through a lot of sadness, or there's a lot of cups there and sometimes it's hard, I'll say, oh, I feel like that's a Cancer.
Yeah.
But that's only because I
Your
know
intuition, yeah.
I know that sign is sometimes very emotional, but I never really think, I'm not a mathematical kind of person, so
Yeah, in astrology you have to.
yeah.
There is a bit of that. Really, fun question. Do you guys do readings, etc. full time, or do you have day jobs? We both have day jobs.
We
I
live
think
in
both
London.
of us. We live in London. I travel 2.5 hours a day back, like literally combined, and then plus day job, and then I have to come back home and do readings. So I'm sorry, guys, if you don't have a lot when I put out on YouTube, because I also do privates. So no days off in a week, literally.
No.
But we're gonna get there one day, right? That's
day.
our aim.
We come home, we eat, and we
If
go
we have time. Do you
and-
remember how many times we haven't eaten? It's like,
Yeah.
oh, no, need to do readings.
and then we just go straight to our rooms and we do readings and whatever.
Yeah, so it's a little bit intense, but,
As long as we don't mind though, it's just hard when you come home from work. Like, you have a very draining job.
yeah.
Because she sits with, it's very like, you have to be really focused, your job.
Yeah,
And then I work with kids and they're constantly like, I work with special needs kids, so it's constant watching them all the time, so it is draining. But then you kind of come home and do tarot and it kind of brings you back up again.
it does.
So weird.
And I think these are the signs to pay attention to when it comes to life paths, right?
Yeah.
Because the thing that is meant for you is not gonna drain you. It's rather gonna, yes, you might get tired from it just because you've
thought of it.
overworked, but it's gonna uplift you. It's gonna make you happy. Like, it gives meaning to what you do in life.
The minute we sit down, that's it. Then it's done and it's easy. But
Yeah.
the thought of sitting down when you're so tired is hard. But then that's a bad thing to do. Don't think of it negative.
Are you ever gonna quit doing readings? I don't think so.
I don't know.
So many plans, guys.
That's one thing.
I wish I had more time, like with you, literally. If we didn't have day jobs, we'd probably be doing most of the time YouTube for you and free readings, live streams, whatever. Like, that's the goal, but you need to be patient when it comes to it. Oh, do you have colleagues who know about this other life of yours? Do people accept it? And if not, does it bother you? Do you want to start first?
Triggered. I think this is like a karma of mine. Because, yeah, I used to work in retail, and when I started doing tarot, I started saying, oh, I do tarot, blah, blah, blah. And retail, I had a lot of people that were coming to me saying, oh, can you do a reading for me? Can you do a reading for me? Can you do a reading? like if I was really good friends with that person, I had no problem. I didn't mind. It wasn't like.
But you barely knew some of them, right?
But a lot of people were coming up to me, and I'm like, you don't really talk to me, and you're just asking me for a free reading. I'm like, eh. So eventually I left that job, and now I'm in a new job, and it's different again, but it's kind of the same. It's like I have older people because I work with older like teachers and stuff, and they're more mature, and it's not just like, oh, you don't have time in your life. They do respect that I have a life. But the thing, when things get, they come up to me and they're always like fishing for things, and now it's because they're older, they don't believe in me, so they're like testing me, whereas before,
Really?
that's the difference. So it's the same thing, it's the same.
I would think that younger people would test you. This is so strange.
No, so younger people were like, oh my god, that's so cool, that's like so like 21st century kind of thing, and they're like, wow, tell me my future and stuff, but they were open to it. Whereas now I have a lot of older people coming to me, and they're desperate to kind of know stuff, but at the same time the religious kind of thing comes into it, like, oh, tarot's evil and stuff.
Yeah, no, I don't
And-
understand that,
and
because it's your subconscious messages.
Yeah, and I'm looking
That's
at
what it is.
I'm looking at people, and they're being like so interested, and I had one woman come up to me, and she was so full on and so nice and loved like everything and really supportive. Like, she didn't ask me for a reading or anything, but the whole thing, she was there to suss me out, to see if I was the real deal. And now that's kind of, I'm getting the different end of the stick now, whereas people are challenging me to see if I'm a real tarot reader or I'm just like, a legend, I'm a legend.
Well, my job is very like
Different. You don't really have that much.
well, because I'm not telling anyone.
See, I just
No,
go bleh.
I'm sorry. So how it works in my job? Okay, so my job is very logical. I work architectural related jobs, so it's all about planning and drawing buildings up and blah blah blah. So in that field, you have people who just look like that. They're very like
Mm-hmm.
So only I have most of my friends are guys, by the way. And I think it's different telling a girl
Mm-hmm.
and telling your friends boys who work with you that I do tarot. But once you feel kind of who you can talk to and who not,
Yeah.
it's fine. So I only told one person at work, and then my girlfriend, she knows about it too. So they took it very well.
I can't believe she took it really well.
Yeah, she's very straightforward as well.
Do you know what? That's the best when someone isn't really doesn't believe in that kind of stuff, but they still.
But remember, I've done the reading for her in Portugal,
Yeah.
so she couldn't say anything.
Yeah, so it's
She was crying.
that's the best when you shock people. That is the best. What was this? I forgot.
Is that one? I looked at that one. Do
Yeah,
you think
that's
tarot reading is one of your ways to reach your life purpose? I mean, because the tarot can deliver many messages in this.
What is a life purpose? It's so. Life is a long.
I think it's a step towards purpose. I don't know what you think yours is, but in my case, tarot is a step there because my life purpose is about helping people. Yours too, in one way or another. But I think once I'll do tarot, when I do a lot of free mediumships, when I have time, and then I want to do projects for homeless people. So helping those who really struggle out there, without having nothing.
Yeah.
And then we'll see where it goes from there.
The thing with life purpose though changes a lot. It changes all the time, and it's not. Your beliefs are still the same, but the environment changes and things have to change because maybe you move to a different country and then you have to think of a new way to do it because it's not the same. But as long as you're doing what is helping you as a person and helping others, there's no reason to second guess it and be like, am I on the right path? If you're happy and you're teaching yourself lessons and you're teaching other people lessons, I mean,
I think how to know that you're not
career.
on your life path is when you are literally
stomping upstairs.
you have neighbors very
So
loud. But it's when you know that you work in a job where you you feel left out or you feel lonely even though you have a lot of people who love you, and you're like, I'm not in the right place, there is something else. So you have that niggling feeling, there's something else for me. It means that you're still searching for it.
Look at that. It's so funny.
Which is your favorite YouTuber? My favorite YouTuber. Okay, let me tell you, I have a new one.
We
Oh
have,
my god.
We have so many.
Okay, guys.
Brigitte, why
this
is your
person
room like a sauna?
is the energies, Joey.
Oh my god.
Guys, there is one person that I'm super like rooting for. I don't know him personally, but he started recently, and I showed it to Joe yesterday. I'm like, Joe, this guy is gonna be big. He gives you straightforward readings. You don't have like butterflies, candies, and all of that. He's called Occult Gate. So check him out. I'm not promoting him because I know him. He's just like, he gives you truth, and he's so amazing. Like, he's been doing that for years.
That
you know,
is my
can tell.
vibe. I'm like, when I watched it, I was like, Brigitte.
Shout out to Occult Tarot.
Yes. And another one that I always love going to because she's so quick and she's so straight to the point is Leonie Luna Tarot.
Yeah.
I don't know how to spell it. But Leonie Luna
Martha was
Tarot.
watching him.
She's amazing, and yes, we both love Stargirl. And we always have, actually, from the beginning, wasn't it? I think she was one of the...
I think I fell in love with her personality.
Because she's so down to earth.
She's
just so genuine.
Yeah. Humble.
And it's like she's been on YouTube for a long time. And she's still the same person.
Yeah,
That's
she
what I
doesn't
love
get,
about
but
her.
you know when you have so many subs, people sometimes are very harsh on you, and she doesn't get bothered. Even if she does, we all do, right? But she doesn't show it in a way where other people might.
Yeah.
You know, because we've seen that happening on YouTube. And it's just a part of it, but I think she just stayed so humble all the way. She's such a nice person.
Yeah. I need to go to the toilet, Brigitte.
Go ahead.
I'm going to go to the toilet. I'll be back in like 2 minutes. Okay, hold on.
Kenny Tarot. Let me just search this person, because I'm looking for. I mean, you can vibe with some people, and with some people, I think you have, you know, like in life, an expiry date. Not in a bad way, but it's just like, I think once you grow, and some people vibe with you more than the others, and it's just like very diverse. And yeah, tarot is very demonetized, and in general the occult is very demonetized. And I think media just made this whole picture, you know, like spirits are bad, seeing ghosts, you know, is bad, and all of those scary movies and all of that. So yes, and the problem with it is because we have been, if you look at our ancestors, everyone was so like in touch with themselves, and all of the symbols and everything that they used to use to connect to gods and stuff, right? And now we don't have it anymore because we're more connected to our tech and connected to how do I get to the place I want to be when it comes to, you know, promotion, when it comes to career. And so we live, I think, more from ego and less from our souls. Makes sense? So that's true. How does having a fixed life plan go together with having a choice and continuously shifting energies? So I think you're talking about life path, so whatever is meant for you. Life path is always connected to somehow helping humanity in any way, and it can be a very broad term, so I'm not gonna put you in a box. But whatever choices you make through life, it somehow helps other people. So you can start off, what example should I give you? You can start off helping out friends when it happened to me. You know, everyone was calling me for help, even though I was like, guys, like, what's going on? You know, I was so glad to do that, but I was so surprised. And everyone would come for help and ask me, and then I was like, okay, I want to do this. I would maybe want to study psychology. Joe is back.
Hi.
But I don't want to do it that way, because I was very spiritual all the time, and I was looking for that way how to help people in a way where I don't have to get a paper, because that's not how it works, right?
What are you talking about?
About the how you shift through life when it comes to a life path. Then I started painting. Well, I've graduated architecture. Then I started painting, kind of looking what my soul was craving for. And then I was working in a job that I'm working at now. And then what happened actually, maybe for some of you, it's gonna be relatable. I decided to go for a solo trip. I've always wanted to go for a solo trip. So it was the time when I was actually like tuning back into myself, finding myself again. And I was like, I always wanted to go solo, you know, travel solo. So F it, I'm just gonna do it. What am I afraid of? Suddenly I had this urge to go surfing. And guys, I'm terrified of waves, okay? I'm terrified. I can't go underneath water without like literally pinching my nose. So I was like, why the heck do I wanna go surfing when I'm terrified? But I'm like, okay, soul, I'm gonna do it. So that's what happened. After I came back from that trip, everything in my life shifted where I've done something for myself and I overcame my fear. And then I started being more into like professional tarot. That's what happened there, you know?
Whenever, this is the weirdest story ever, but I'm going to kind of shorten it down.
Yeah.
Before I even knew that I was interested in tarot and everything, or I went on a, like really, like from where I'm from in Ireland, I went to the bottom of Ireland with my sister to go to a psychic, and I didn't believe in psychic.
Sorry,
I know what
Something said you have pink nipples, but I'm not laughing about
and
that. That was weird. Luna just smashed.
I laughed at it too. Don't be
Don't
weird.
be weird though. Like, what are you doing?
What are pink nipples like?
Okay, continue.
Mine's are yellow. Anyway. So yeah, I went to a psychic and I was so weird about the whole thing. I was like, I don't want to go to a psychic. I don't know. It feels weird. It's not my thing. And yeah, went with my sister because she really wanted me to go. We went. And I went into the room and she told me, like, you're psychic, you're like me, blah, blah, blah. And she told me that we knew each other in a past life, blah, 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 blah. But the thing that stood out, she told me a lot of things that came true. And I just thought, this is weird, I don't feel right. And anyway, she had said, you're going to do really well for yourself. You're going to be on screen. And at that time, in my head, I thought, this is it, she's telling me I'm going to be an actor. And I was like, okay, am I going to like be famous and stuff? And I was thinking,
because your ego only knew at that time that you're studying acting.
Yeah, because
right?
I was doing performing arts, and I was always told like you're really good at acting. And at that time I didn't think I was, but then over time I was like, actually this is what I want to do. I was like, this is my life purpose. Well, I didn't know that term at the time, but I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to have a drive to go forward and do something that I really love, because that's always what I felt like anyway when I was young. And I was like, when she said, you're going to be on screen, a lot of people are going to respect you and you're going to be well known to a lot of people. And at that time I was like, wow, I'm going to be an actor, this is amazing. And I was like, what kind of movies am I going to be in? Or like, and she's looking at me and she's
this one.
Yeah. Hi, welcome to the
Tribe
Tarot. I don't know, but at that time I was like, I didn't think I was psychic. I was like, well, she's talking, like I didn't fully believe it. And then now this was like more than a couple of months ago, like half a year ago, we realized that it clicked. It was like,
I think more than that, Joe.
Yeah, I was like,
It's been
that's
time.
what she was talking about, because every time I asked her about acting and like, so what kind of actor am I going to be and stuff, and she was just like, yeah, I don't know, and everything was, I don't know, and she just didn't want to tell me. And that's something that's very important, is sometimes we know the answer but we don't want to tell them because something from our intuition tells us you're not supposed to know.
Yeah,
yet.
my tarot didn't tell me that too.
Yeah, it's just like you're stopped or something.
And it's good, guys. So if, by the way, that's a really good thing, Joe.
Yeah.
If you're asking a question, your tarot reader, and they kind of go around it, or you can see that they're not telling you something fully, it means
fishy.
you're